Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money. With your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 207 of Screw the Commute podcast. I'm here with Barbara Khozam, and she just spent 2 days here shooting fantastic videos for her YouTube channel and website, and she's back with us today to talk about her international customer service business. Now, I hope you didn't miss episode 206. That was Adam Katz. This guy won't let anything, including pain, stop him. Wait till you hear his inspiring story. He's got 30 books to his credit and a fantastic and proven Google ad agency, all while suffering debilitating migraines his entire life. He's a perfect example of how to create a lifestyle-based business around your limitations. And my limitations today is I'm under the weather, but the show must go on. So if you hear any roughness in my voice, that's the breaks. I'm going to make this happen for you because we don't want to miss Barbara. All right, quick announcement. Our podcast app's in the App Store, I think they still call it the App Store. The iTunes was supposed to go away, and it hasn't gone away. I don't know what, it's over there somewhere, but all you have to do is go to screwthecommute.com/app, that's APP, and you can download it there, and it does all kinds of cool stuff when you take us with you on the road. Now, make sure you get a copy of our ebook. It's a freebie to thank you for listening to this podcast. It's How to Automate Your Business. Just one of the tips in this book has saved me over 7.5 million keystrokes and allowed me to handle up to 150,000 subscribers and 40,000 customers without pulling my hair out. So we sell this for $27, but it's yours free as my thanks for listening. And when you're over at the download page, and this is, by the way, at screwthecommute.com/automate free, screwthecommute.com/automate free. Grab yourself another little white paper I have there that some people are charging $4,000, $5,000, and $6,000 teaching you how to do high-quality podcasts. So our sponsor is the Internet Marketing Training Center of Virginia. It's a distance learning school which teaches legitimate techniques to make a great living either working for someone else or starting your own online business, or both. You can check it out at imtcva.org. All right, let's get to the main event. Barbara Khozam is an award-winning international motivational speaker and trainer specializing in customer service and the patient experience. In 2019, Barbara was awarded the CSP, that's a Certified Speaking Professional, from the prestigious National Speakers Association. Barbara is one of only 3 women in the entire world, I'll say the universe, to have achieved this designation. She put destination here, as well as the Toastmaster accredited speaker designation. Now, only 3 people in the world have that. Barbara, are you ready to screw the commute?
Yes, Tom, I am ready.
Wake up over there. You California people are asleep on me.
I know.
So tell everybody what you're doing now. I'm going to hack my throat up here while I'm listening to you, and tell them what you're doing now, and then we're going to take you back and see how you came up through the ranks, including this lady was a professional volleyball player. Isn't that cool? All right, so tell them what you're doing now.
Beach volleyball.
Well, it's still volleyball to me.
Well, now, okay. So right now, what I'm doing and what brings me joy to the world is that I'm working with a lot of doctors' offices, a lot of mid-size medical groups on helping them raise patient satisfaction survey results. And I mainly do that through training. I help them create customer service protocols. I do mystery patient visit. I'm a professional mystery patient.
Uh-huh.
I've taken my clothes off for a lot of people. Anyway, and
how
so
much
I do
does
a
that
lot.
cost?
Yeah,
Good to know.
It's very, very expensive, Tom. So what's cool is that I get to go in and do the training. I work with the leadership team, help them hold people accountable, and then we see results. So it's pretty cool all around. It's a win-win-win.
My My mind is going all kinds of places. Like if I was one of these mystery shoppers and going to get your prostate checked or something, that's really sacrificing for your business, right? Or going to gynecologist or something.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess I would have trouble doing that one. I'd have to turn that job down or farm it out, I guess, if I got a mystery shopper at the gynecologist.
Good point, Tom.
Yeah.
Good point.
So, is it really any kind of medical facility?
Yeah, I've been working with all sorts of doctors and now recently dentists. I've been working with dentists as well. So anyone really in the healthcare profession has been a good source of joy for me and them.
Well, seriously though, I mean, how far do you have to go before do you actually have to get your teeth drilled, or what? I mean, or is it only on the phone to see how they act on the phone, or what's the mystery shopper entail in the medical field?
Yeah, so I actually do both. I do mystery calls. I actually have a team of mystery callers that will call. They can do it a lot better than I can because I travel so much. So they call different times a day with different scenarios, and they're really good liars. So they're really good at I'm really not very good at lying. Anyway, and then the mystery patient visit for the dentist is kind of basic. Sometimes my people will go in and do a cleaning, but sometimes I'll just go in and say, I've got some pain in this area. Can you take a look? Or, so it's really not to assess the doctors and like how they give me a diagnosis. It's to analyze the patient visit from the moment I call to the moment I leave the office, whether it's a dentist or a doctor. So I can analyze the call people, the front desk, the MAs and the hygienists, the whole process from start to finish.
Well, don't they ask you like, well, how about shipping your records over here from the last dentist? And then you say, well, I got 42 dentists I have to get my records from.
Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of lying that goes on there.
Right.
So I'll say, oh gosh, shoot, I just moved and I forgot my license, but a lot of times the office manager can help me get into the system.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of can set me up as a patient already, sort of. So, I need a little bit of help of getting in and around the system.
Well, what if the manager sucks and the dentist wants to check up on the manager?
Yes, so I can usually that's a good point. So I can figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, the dentist would have to do the dirty work behind the scenes, right?
Exactly.
Now, what if the manager wants to check up on the dentist?
Yep. That happens. So it's the same kind of thing. They get me, like I just was in Bermuda. One of my clients is in Bermuda. And so
They got dentists in Bermuda? I didn't know that.
They have a lot of them, Tom. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't even believe it. So yeah, I did the same thing. She had me come in and observe her front desk staff and the dentist. So it was the same thing. It was
Who paid for it though? The dentist paid to be checked up on himself or herself?
Well, they kind of write it off. I don't know how they write off those kinds of things, but yeah.
No, so that's cool. So, any crazy experiences you've ever had during one of these mystery shops?
Yeah, nothing
dangerous,
like nothing horrible, but just a lot of minor stuff. Like I was visiting a hand. It was a hand doctor, I guess. Yeah, is that what it was? It was a hand doctor, and like just little things like the doctor look at me. He sits down. What can I do? He says, "What can I do for you?" Like it was just nothing like super awful, but just enough to make me not happy with the visit. And that seems to be the trend where it's not awful, but it's just so like icky. There's no connection, like they don't care.
Yeah.
And that makes me not want to come back.
Yeah, it's but I'm just thinking if they got the records mixed up and they all of a sudden got a record for, oh, this lady's really nervous, so you have to kind of sneak up on her and hit her with sedative.
No, yeah, no, Tom, it's not like that.
There's a good skit with Tim Conway in a dentist office that's famous, where this kind of stuff he keeps, shooting Novocaine into different parts of his body. So you have to check that out. But
Yeah.
did you ever have a job?
Oh my
Let's go
gosh.
way back and say, did you ever have a job?
Oh yes, of course I had a tough. So I graduated from college with a degree in chemistry.
Who
So
does that?
I don't stupid people, Tom. Oh my gosh, I did not think into the future. Anyway, so for 10 years I had a job as a chemist.
No
10
kidding.
years. Yeah,
Doing
yeah,
what?
yeah.
Doing what?
Well, I started in the laboratory and I
Well,
was
don't all chemists work in a laboratory?
that's a good point. Yeah. So see, the problem with having a bachelor's degree in chemistry is that it's, you're always going to be a lab rat. Like you're going to be someone else's
Mm-hmm. Lackey.
person to
Yeah.
do their work. So I don't know. But however, my last job as a chemist, I was a tech rep. So that's what moved me down to San Diego. So I had a territory. It was pretty cool. I had a territory and I would travel around to my accounts and I would test equipment and I would train people on stuff. And the only part of my job I liked, which was 10% of my job, was training them on something. So that's how I got the feel and the knack for the
Ah,
training.
I see.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So how did you transition to becoming a speaker?
Oh gosh. Okay, so all right. Well, when I was a chemist, I said to my boss, this was kind of like the thing. I said to my boss, "Hey boss, I want to be part of the President's Club." And the President's Club at that time was when they would take the top performer from each department and send them somewhere like the Bahamas for a week with their loved one. And for me at that time would have been my mom. So I said to my boss, "I want to go to the Bahamas with my mom. What do I need to do?" And he goes, "Oh, that's simple. You just need to do three things, this, and this." So the next year I did those three things, just like he asked. Okay. Well, right before review time, 6 months before review time, we had two mergers in a 6 month time frame. So guess what? Yay. The only
Bahamas trips were
people,
off.
only people that went to the Bahamas were the people from the company that bought us. Yeah. So what did I get? Zero. No, thank you. No, like nothing.
Good
Absolutely
experience.
nothing.
You got a lot of good experience.
Yeah. So check this out though. The next year, the woman who got the award was a woman that I followed around all year long fixing her mistakes.
Uh-huh.
She got the award. I quit 1 month later.
And then what?
Okay. So then for 8 months, I'm like, uh-oh, I don't have a job. So a friend of mine had applied to Skill Path seminars. Have you heard of Skill Path seminars? It's like
Everybody's
a
heard of Skill Pass.
Okay, so she had applied and been turned down, but I was like, "Oh, huh. Well, that sounds interesting." So I applied to Skill Path seminars, and then I got the job, and I joined on with them. I stayed with them for 10 years, traveling
You
around the
like do
world.
everything at 10 years stints or what?
Apparently, I
Is that
do. I
your
have.
thing?
Yes,
The
it
chemical
is.
mind, the analytical mind. I
That's
guess your
correct.
life is made in 10-year increments. So,
Yes, thanks for reminding me.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
but that's a hard life there too. I mean,
it
you
was
know,
very difficult.
yeah,
Yes,
a lot of not fancy travel, put it that way. Plenty
that's
of travel,
correct.
but not fancy.
Yeah, it wasn't fancy and the days were long. These sessions are 6 hours
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd go to another town. I mean, I was on 11 planes in 6 days and
Mm-hmm.
it was awful. But during that time, I was able to play professional beach volleyball
Yeah,
because I
why
was
do you make such a big deal that it's beach volleyball? Is that like a lower level and you don't want to brag too much, or is that a higher level or what?
no, it's just different. Like if you play indoor volleyball, see, I never played in high school or college. I didn't start playing until I was 25. And if you play indoor, your skills have to be perfect. So you have to pass perfectly. Everything is very precise because there's 6 people on the court.
Okay.
But if there's only 2 of you, you can kind of be a little bit okay. I could pass kind of toward you. Like it doesn't have to be as exact.
Well, that seems opposite to me, because if you got 6 people, somebody ought to be able to take up the slack. There's only
Yeah,
2 of
no,
you. No?
no, you've got to pass to the setter, and the setter has to, they're very different games.
Well,
So yes,
from the guys watching point of view, nobody sees the ball anyway. They just see the tight little shorts you wear, pretty much.
okay,
That's
that's a
true.
good point.
That's true. You know, so
Yeah.
you made a lot of money doing that, though, right?
Oh, Tom, you're so funny. No, I did not make a lot of money, but I sure had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I'll tell you
I'll
that.
bet. I'll bet.
Yeah,
So you were doing this concurrently with your skill path work.
that's correct.
Okay.
Right.
But I don't think there's too many beaches in like Toledo and Cleveland and the places they go, right?
That's right. So that's why I had to really be picky with my schedule.
So
So
you could pick your schedule, and then you did it in beach towns or what? I mean, did you ever
yeah.
play the
So
same day you taught? You couldn't
so
do
no,
that, right?
what I would do is with Skill Path, you give them your availability 3 or 4 months in advance, and
Mm-hmm.
I would know the volleyball tournament schedule.
Oh, okay.
So I would just say no's on the weeks of tournaments, and then I would work on the other weeks.
I got it. And then
Yeah,
how did you get your partner?
that was the hard part. It was who that's the hardest part of the whole deal, is getting and finding a good partner. So, there's only a small group of people in San Diego that were playing. So the pool is small. So you kind of just go through and pick each other,
But you got
try
to
each
keep
other
the
out.
same one throughout a tournament, right? You can't
Yes, through
switch
a
up
tournament, but you could be dumped after a tournament.
if they didn't think you were pulling
Yes,
your
yeah,
weight, I guess.
that's correct.
And
Yes.
how tall are you?
I'm only 5'10".
Only 5'10". So what was the range of people that were the
Oh gosh,
top echelon?
nowadays they're big girls. They're like 6 foot, I would say, 6 foot to 6'6".
6'6". Oh my God.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
They
yeah,
make
even
girls
taller.
in 6'6" sizes?
Yeah, yeah,
Never heard of
yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so tell us about the business of professional volleyball. How did you get paid? Who paid you? Was it sponsors? How did that work?
Yeah, nope. I didn't have it was cool. Okay, so Tom, I was at the bottom of the bracket. I supported the people at the top.
Okay.
So
But you
the
still
only
got
people
paid though.
a teensy bit. Yeah, you get paid according to how well you do. I
But
guess
who
that makes
pays
sense.
you is what I want to know.
The Association of Volleyball Professionals, the
Okay.
AVP, yeah, they would pay. But the top girls, they would get sponsors. I'd say the top 10 are able to get sponsors, because they're seen and they're
And how much
winning.
could they be making nowadays?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say probably 1 to 200,000, I would
A couple
guess.
100,000, and then
Yeah.
are some of them doing modeling and things like that? Or
Yeah, I don't
is
hang out
that
with them
beneath
anymore,
them?
Tom. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do know, like one of them, the top girl, Carrie Wall, she's on that kinesio tape. You know that tape you put on yourself? I know that I saw her face on a box of one of those. And then
Oh,
yeah,
really?
some of them do modeling, of
Okay.
course. Why not? Yeah.
So you decided to go into speaking. So how did you transition out of skill path? And was that a big deal, or was that easy?
Oh, it was another just drastic movement. I just got sick of I didn't like the way I was treated. I certainly didn't like the amount of money they were paying. And I was just done. It was 10 years. You know my 10-year
Yeah,
mark,
the
Tom.
10-year
Come
mark. Yeah,
on.
right. 10-year
So
itch. Yeah.
I did the same thing I did before. I just quit. Boom. And both of them, interestingly enough, happened in January. So January 2010, I was just like, but I was married at the time, so I had a backup income. I felt, I wasn't as scared as the first time when it was just me.
Well,
So I just
that was
quit.
10 years or what?
Uh,
The
it was
marriage.
10. Oh, the marriage. No, that Tom, I said no, I didn't make it to 10.
Oh, well,
I made it to 8.
it must have been really bad.
I know, I was
it
really
took
upset about
if
that
it took
because
a chemist not to make it to 10 years. Um,
yeah.
so anyway, so you just quit, and then what?
Okay, so oh gosh. Okay, so January 2010, I quit. But what I realized pretty soon after I quit, oh my gosh, I don't have any clients. And I don't know how to market. So I attended a constant contact, constant contact,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
So they had a free workshop on how to use their software. So this was in the end of January 2010. So I went to this class. The first thing the instructor says is, okay, meet 3 people, turn to 3 people and give them your business card. Ugh, I hate doing that. So I turned around to the person behind me. I gave him my card and I said, oh, I do customer service training. She says, oh my gosh, we need a customer service trainer. Yeah. And she just happened to work for a healthcare company. That's how I got into healthcare. So
Mm.
as of last year, they were my largest client and that's how I learned all these tips and the mystery calls and mystery patients and all the
Mm-hmm.
strategies I learned from that company. So
Just from
until
showing
this
up.
year, actually.
Well, that's a good
Yeah,
point
that's
because a
right.
lot of people tell you just show up. You don't never know
Yep,
what's gonna happen. I mean, that changed the whole
that's
course of your
correct.
career right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, do you do any keynote speaking or is it mostly training?
I do keynote speak. I love doing keynote
Mm-hmm.
speaking. I find I have I have more long-term impact when I do trainings
Of
because I
course.
can do the follow-up and I can
Mm-hmm.
see progress. But I love the keynotes, yay, and get people laughing and woo. But I feel that's very short term. They forget about me, what, an hour later? Well, maybe not, but
Maybe 10. Not well. What about 10 years?
10 years. Yeah, 10 years. There you go.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can remember you in 10 years. So
There you
tell
go.
us a little bit about how you run your business. So, do you charge a deposit? Do you only get paid after you're done? How do you handle the payments for this
Well,
kind of business?
so my main source of income, I would say, is the training. So normally what I do is I get into a company by doing a customer service training. But
Mm-hmm.
once I'm in, then I can work with the managers and I can help them create protocols. And then I can go back and do team building. So it starts at, one gig can turn in to many, many others. But it starts for me, like my gateway,
Mm-hmm.
product is the training, the customer service training. That's how I get in.
And and do you require a deposit before you'll put a date aside?
I like 50%
Mm-hmm.
down, but that's not always the case. Sometimes they pay 100% up front, which is, it's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I like 50% down and then I like the rest when I'm done. For me, I like that. But, if you want to pay the whole thing up front, I don't mind. I'll
Well,
take it, Tom.
Well, the thing with me is and it takes a while to get to this point, but it's 50% on booking and then 50% 2 weeks before I get there. And I'll tell you how
Oh,
that developed is that, I was making more in 90 minutes than the training director was making in 4 months. And so
uh-huh.
they weren't that thrilled about me being there. I could do it better. I'm from this company. I know that. So they would, after the event, they would leave me standing around and say, well, we're doing a debrief and we'll get you. And I'm like walking the halls like I'm homeless waiting for my check. I said, this is ending
Oh,
right today. And so I do it 2 weeks in advance now. And then
that's smart.
anything outside, one step out of the country, everything is paid in advance. Airfare, hotel,
Mm.
everything, because some countries just don't have the they look at a contract like, oh, that was just the beginning point of our negotiation. I said, no, that's not the way I
Uh,
look at it. So
yeah.
that's how I work it. So we got to take a brief sponsor break. When we come back, we're going to ask Barbara, what's a typical day look like for a professional customer service, ex-volleyball professional, 10-year person? And then we'll see how she stays motivated. Well, folks, I want you to watch a webinar. Now, if you have any inkling that you want to do higher education or improve yourself or change careers, or maybe you have kids or neighbors or nephews, nieces that are thinking about higher education. Well, they've brainwashed everybody for the last 100 years. You got to go to college. You got to go to college. Well, maybe you do, but maybe you don't. The world has changed considerably. And if you watch this webinar, you're going to think twice about either mortgaging your house to go to college or not. It's at screwthecommute.com/webinars, or you can go to screwthecommute.com and just click on webinars. You can either download it or watch it, but be prepared to be mad, because these universities are raising the tuitions and they're faking and inflating grade point averages. This is all proven and documented to make it look like they're doing a better job, but the testing is showing that they're not. So check this out. Oh, another crazy study too. They followed 2,000 kids among a whole bunch of universities. They found that average, the kids were spending 8 hours total preparing and going to class. 8 hours. The rest of the time was shopping, eating, and partying. Well, I don't know if I'd want to mortgage my house to pay for that. So check it out at screwthecommute.com, and then go to the webinar section. You can download the MP3 or you can watch the one. And it's not just me. It's a whole bunch of high-level education people ragging on the university system. So not just me hawking my school. But anyway, I do like to hawk my school, and in that case, you can get an education at a reasonable price and a high-demand skill, be making money before you graduate even sometimes. So check it out at imtcva.org. Okay, so let's get back to the main event. Barbara Khozam's here. And Barbara, what's a typical day look like for you?
Tom, there's no such thing as a typical day.
Well, you wake up every day, right?
I do wake up every day.
You're early
but
bird?
well, I do wake up at 6:25. When I'm home, I wake up at 6:25 a.m.
You know, a chemist it'd have to be 6:25. No, I never heard that in 200 podcasts. Nobody's ever said 6:25.
Well, there's a first for everything.
Yep.
So when I'm home, that's what I do. I wake up at 6:25, and then I do some things. But I travel.
What? Do what?
I like to organize my day for the first half hour. I just want to make sure, okay, let's get rid of the crap email. I want to make sure I'm on board with what I'm going to do, my tasks for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people do that the night before,
yeah,
which is great. For some reason, it works for me. I do it just the first 30 minutes. I get ready.
Now,
I got my plan.
Is this whether you're traveling or not?
No, this is when I'm home, because sometimes, like for example, tomorrow I have to get up at 3:30 to get on a 6 a.m. flight. So that may happen, but I'm getting, so it happens in a different order.
Right. Okay.
Right. Because I have to get up so darn early. But I love traveling because I get so much freaking work done on the airplane. I love it. So that's when I can get caught up on reading stuff. I can, get blogs written, and I can get, outlines on my PowerPoint. Like I get a lot of work done.
Well, how do you keep all the guys from hitting on you in the next seat?
You know what? Nobody hits on me, Tom.
Well,
They don't. Nobody.
there's a reason for that. You must give out an aura, or you look at them nasty, or you wear headphones
I don't wear
no.
headphones. I would be open for someone hitting on me, but that never happens. It doesn't happen.
So
It's okay.
you get a lot of work
Oh,
done.
man. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
Mhm.
then what?
Well, and then, I might be doing a presentation, so then I do the
Do you
presentation.
go in the
Or,
same day usually, or the day before?
well, for example, tomorrow my presentation is not until 6:30 at night in Florida. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm flying there tomorrow morning. I arrive 4 hours ahead of time.
Wow, that's
Just
risky, isn't it? With
uh,
cancellations and
no.
stuff.
Yeah, nope. I've looked up the backup flights.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that, okay, if there's a cancellation here, then I can go here. And if this is delayed there, then I can go here. So I always do that the day. I haven't had a
So you're
problem yet.
smarter than me because I go the day before. Just chill out.
No, that's no, that's smart.
Because I can't
But
figure out all the schedules like you can.
well, the chemist in me can
Yeah.
do that. Yeah. So yeah. So I fly in and then I do the presentation and then yeah. So it's a long day tomorrow and
Then do you
Thursday,
fly
same
back
thing.
that evening, or do you stay there a day?
Well, I have another presentation on Thursday evening, so I travel during the day. I then, while I'm not traveling,
Where is
I'll
it?
still Florida,
Oh,
different
okay.
town,
Oh,
not
okay.
sure.
Well, at least it's that part of the
Yeah,
world.
right, exactly. So that's this week, right? And then next week I'm somewhere else.
All right. What about when you're home?
So when I'm home, then I do a lot of
6:25 a.m.
6:25. So then I work on my to-do
Mm-hmm.
list and then I start working on stuff. So what is it? Is it sending emails to past clients, checking up on them? Is it looking for new prospects or speaking gigs? Or there's a lot of stuff. Video. I'm creating a home video
No
studio.
kidding. Ah, boy, who would have thought of that?
So Tom's been helping me with that. Yay, Tom.
Yay,
Okay, so
Barbara.
yeah. So I'm working on that and all sorts of things, content and I have an assistant, thank God. So she posts onto Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram for me. So I make sure she's on track. She reaches out and applies to speaking gigs for me. So I follow up with that, give her information. There's a lot of stuff happening, Tom.
And then do you play volleyball anymore?
Oh gosh, yes. Every Sunday morning for sure. Sometimes Saturdays, usually Saturdays and Sundays.
So
And then
you just go to
yeah.
drop down to the beach and just jump in on a game, or what?
No, no, no. It's arranged. It's prearranged. So I've got a bunch of girls and I just send them a text. Hey, I can play Saturday and Sunday. And then they fit me in and then we play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
And
very, very
is it
fun.
competitive or is it just fun or what?
It's both. Yeah. These girls are good. I play with a lot of 25-year-olds and they have
Hmm.
no idea how old I am. So don't tell them.
I don't know
Please
either.
don't.
So
Oh, good.
yeah.
Hallelujah. So yeah, you can't tell people your age because they judge you, you know. So yeah, I
Yeah, but
play with the
if you
youngsters.
beat them into the sand and then you kind of swagger away, say, I'm 72
Right.
years old.
Well, one girl said to me, she was 23 and she came up to me. She didn't know how old I was,
Mhm.
but she said, I hope I'm still playing when I'm your age.
Ah.
Uh-huh. So, and then we started playing.
And then
And then
you beat the hell out of her?
that's right.
Yeah,
And then
good.
afterwards she didn't say anything.
Did you ever
It's
see
great.
those YouTube videos where they dress a bodybuilder up in like looking like he's 90 years old? And then he goes down
No.
to Venice Beach and jumps in and says, "Hey, can I get a set?" And they're all kind of snickering, and he's lifting more than everybody else.
That sounds like a
They
good
have some
one.
basketball players too that they dress up like they're like 60, 70 years old, and then they're dunking. All right, so what keeps you
Love it.
motivated?
Oh, well, I like it when, kind of like I said before, when my customers see progress. Like what I like about working with doctors' offices is a lot of them have to do surveys. because Medicare will give them more reimbursement if they have better survey results. So I like that. It's measurable, so I love it that I go in there, I work with them, their survey scores go up and it stays up over time. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's really rewarding. So that's why I'm really loving the doctors.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
so if anybody wants to hire you for some training or stuff, how they get a hold of you?
Oh, easy. They can simply go to my website,
You better
BarbaraKhozam.com.
spell it for them. We'll have it in the show
Oh, yes.
notes too.
Good. So it's my last name is KHOZAM. BarbaraKhozam.com.
Barbara
Easy
Khozam.
peasy.
Yeah, and we'll have that in the show notes for you. And then, you're available outside the country too, right?
Oh, yeah. I do this all over the world. It's very fun.
What's your favorite place outside of the U.S.?
Oh my gosh. My favorite place. I like all places outside. I would say I went to I've worked in India, in Malaysia, in Taiwan, in Australia, New Zealand. Oh my gosh, they're all so great. Everybody
Yeah.
has great, something's great about everybody.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for stopping by today and telling us about your life as a 10-year in 10-year segments. And you have to go get married. How long were you married?
8 years.
All right. So you have to go get married 2 years to somebody else and then
Okay.
combine them. We'll put them together.
Great idea, Tom.
There you go.
Wow.
All right. So thanks so much for gracing us with your presence and for putting up with my bad voice. And the next episode, folks, is 208. It's called Gamification, and that's not just playing games. It is making people really engage with your content. So we'll do that on Monday. All right. Catch everybody later.